What up? Today I thought I'd give you a simple tip to increase your damage no matter what class you're playing, and this is something I just learned today too. Now how to increase your damage in Diablo 4, and this can apply to any class, not just necromancers. And in order to understand this tip, you need to understand what vulnerability is and what vulnerable damage does. And basically, vulnerable is a debuff on the enemies, like when their health bar is going to glow purple and you see the word vulnerable, it means the monster is weakened, thus increasing your damage toward it. And it's got a base of 20% increase. It's kind of like an armor break or a defense down type of beat. It doesn't actually decrease its armor, it just momentarily makes it squishier to hit. The thing about vulnerability is you can also increase the amount of damage that your vulnerability increases by having other items that give you boosts pertaining to vulnerability. And the good thing about vulnerability is these calculations happen after all of your other stat increases, so it stacks on top of other things you're doing with your build, so the damage you do then, you're going to do it times by your percentage of the vulnerable damage, and you're going to get your damage you'll do at the end of it. And for this reason is important on things like bosses and trash mobs alike, because you can get vulnerability on every single ability. So if you have the core skill, for example, like let's go over here to the skill tree, core skills, you can get, like, you gotta check which ones add vulnerability. But you can get it on a lot of skills. Like right here, you can deals 8% increased damage to enemies that are slowed, stunned, or vulnerable. So it happens on a lot of fucking skills. Anyways. Now, how to make yourself apply vulnerability more frequently, accomplish this, because it's important for your overall damage. So when you hit level 50, you're going to get your Paragon board. And you can... And once it's unlocked, you'll get to your first glyphs, and there's a lot of glyphs, and then this one, there's a glyph in particular. Let me find it real quick. Called Exploit. And what it's going to do is not only increase your vulnerable damage, but if you have 25 plus dexterity, it'll make it so every single time you just damage an enemy, you'll 100% of the time get vulnerable on them for 3 seconds, and a lot can happen in 3 seconds. And this is a 20-second cooldown, so it's not all the time, but you can use it to start a boss, to take down trash mobs way quicker, and you can use moves that increase vulnerability to further that even more. So explore your class and find a move you're already using or has it, but exploit is a really good universal glyph, because then what you can do is when you run up and hit something, they're automatically vulnerable, and so you're off the bat getting fat calculated damage, and it's going to really mess up those beefier enemies a lot quicker. And an AoE increase also, because vulnerability will work on all your abilities, so it doesn't just have to work on a single target. You can slam down AoE like Corpse Explosion and vulnerable a whole crowd for like 3 seconds, and 3 seconds, like I said, is plenty of time. And because vulnerability is its own modifier, and because vulnerable damage does roll on different items, and making sure you have a way of dropping vulnerability on them as soon as possible, meaning like your first hit, so your follow-up damage is going to be crazy, is one of the best things you can do for your build. In order to get exploit glyph, you just gotta level it up, going through the dungeons, nightmare dungeons. And yeah, I don't know. I hope this helps somebody out there, and I'll get out of your hair. And I hope you guys have fun. Peace out.